Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Qualifier number 3 of the Alienware Awesome Cup tournament. Tonight, or today, more accurately, sorry, right
Morning,
now.
afternoon, evening.
Right
it's all
now.
the same in the space.
Yeah, due to time zones, let's say right now. Just so
The
that way
Awesome
everybody
Galaxy
works.
has no time zones. It's just esports time.
It's esports time. And right now, we've got Team Ion versus Uncle Emmsy's boys. So like we mentioned before, we know of Ion. We know that they are a top-tier team, definitely in the top 3 or 4 for the most part, though they haven't qualified yet. So maybe in this qualifier, they'll have better luck.
Well, they were in Qualifier 1, which I believe, again, they got to round of 16.
Right.
They weren't in Qualifier 2 because it was like Qualifier 1 was a long time,
Yeah.
especially for the European time zones. I mean, we start the broadcast 1 p.m. our time, but it's closer to 7 when we started here for a lot of the European time zones. So it really was a very big day of games, and by the end of it all, they just said not interested in Qualifier number 2. Here they are in Qualifier number 3, making their mark, and this is, again, round of 64. They've already beaten their opponents, and coming into Uncle Emmsy's boys, who had a very fun game, I hear, in round of 128, but they did win, and they moved on, and now they're here. This is going to be their chance. Can they take on these bigger legends that we all know of? So
new talent versus an established top-level team. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. It's either we're going to have our minds blown, we're going to see new rising stars,
It'll be like adding gasoline to a flame either way.
Or, Team Ion will come out on top and then move to the 32. It's one of those two. And in terms of everything else, again, we're coming back to Aguilon. We've been seeing a lot of scoops. I'm actually a little surprised at the lack of Cocos. Where's my Coco, guys?
We see that it seems to be a pattern, actually. We tend to see Cocos cropping up in the last couple of ranks of the tournament, like the 16s, the 8s. That's when we started to see Coco a lot more often, Leon a lot more often.
It's also the best of 3s when we get to that as well.
That's a good point. So maybe some bans coming out that force the Coco to come out.
Or they'll ban out the Coco and we'll never see her again.
Well, wouldn't that make you a sad panda? So long as we see another Ayla, I think that'll make that would be the greatest impact if we see another Ayla. Because right now
our production would be
least played. Voltar now has 2 games.
Absolutely.
Yuri has at least 3.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we have been seeing actually more Voltar, more Yuris today, and less scoops, less Cocos. Let's see who's in this game, though, as we jump right on into it. Ion here on the left, Ted McPain, Ayla, Raylan.
Ayla?
Nope.
No?
Sorry.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I had to tease it a bit.
I don't know. Raylan looks a lot like Ayla.
Nope. Nah, that was totally for production right there. And a Penny Fox. That is a big bursty team.
Yeah, it is a huge amount of solid instant damage between the snipe, airstrike, and pouncing into those situations with, just the pulse. Like, Pulse does a lot of damage, 400 through practically everything right out of the gate, and amplifies the damage of everything else. So that's a lot of burst. You're entirely correct on that front. Uncle Emmsy's boys going for a little bit more conservative build between the Yuri and the Clunk. The Clunk being a bit slower, so we'll see if that ends up being okay for them. Like, the lack of mobility might end up picking them off. But we'll see how this Yuri performs. Penny and Clunk also going for the burst, and they're going for a much more defensive lineup due to this year. So let's go ahead and get this party started. Let's see who comes out on top. Is it going to be Team Ion, the established, or is it going to be Uncle Emmsy's boys, the new?
What a very pretty map. Definitely something we don't see a lot of. Aguilon.
Moving right along on Team Ion, we got Resti Baby on the Penny.
Say that again.
Resti Baby.
Right, all right.
It's Resti Roby.
Sure,
I'm
got
pretty
it.
sure. But
yep.
we got Natapop on the Raylan, and then on the Ted McPain, we've got G-Dove.
Flip side, though, King Joe going to be here on our Yuri. Wacko on the Clunk, and already going for the first blood. Asapu. Yeah. Asapu and Rustin Baby.
So already, blue team cowed into a corner. They're not down here to help defend or do anything. They're stuck up top and just doing their thing. Wacko deciding to go back and heal. King Joe decided, you know what, I could survive here. G-Dub might think something else of that, though. And in comes the airstrike for the kill. So unfortunately not paying a supreme amount of attention and ends up getting picked off there. So now the bottom turret taking a lot of damage. 2 kills, 1 minute into this game. Team Ion showing what they're capable of. Wacko going in for an explode. It's going to end up hitting one person, but then out comes the snipe, the pounce, the pain, another kill. So it's going to be 3-0 in favor of Team Ion already. Now, Asapu in a bad spot.
Well, he actually had a really good shot of taking out G-Dove there, but just actually looks like he can't handle the Fox on Fox action, and blood was shed between the two, as he actually is now going to drop 4-0 for Ion, and they're really coming out swinging here in this early game.
Yeah, they're busy showing exactly why they are one of the top teams. And Uncle Emmsy's boys, they're unfortunately on their back foot in a big way. If they want to come back from this, they need to be very, very careful not to get any more deaths on them.
350 solar or so between the two.
Yeah, it's impressive. Ted already sitting at 786.
He has all 3 kills. Well, he has 3 of the 4 kills.
Yeah, 3 of the 4 kills. Like, this is in comes the airstrike. That is already being ramped up in terms of damage. Ossipew trying to come in from behind and pounce them into something, but no dice yet. King Joe just going to be able to slink away. Snipe going to come out. Ossipew now low enough that she can't defend. She's going to have to go home. King Joe almost getting picked off by another airstrike. Wacko's going to have to come back now, and it's defending against this top push. In comes the Explode. The Pounce is going to come out defensively, so no Pounce going to, like, no Explode damage going to end up hitting there.
G-Dov again, skin of his teeth, does not go down to the offense of Ossipew, but he does again, bring that Ted to his knees. He's actually going to be heading on home, but still damage was done. 3-1-1 for the kills. Everybody here on Ion is actually going to be taking home at least 1 marker. And, first tower down, second is actually now being worked on. And with that time rift, there goes King Joe.
Yeah, one thing that we can learn from this right now is how this team coordination is working out. We've got a lot of just pulse and time rifts being put out so that way the Clunk can't do anything. Yeah, the Ted is staying on top of their airstrike, like on top of his airstrikes and landing them whenever he can. But there's also something to be said for just lack of positioning, proper positioning on the blue team in some cases. Yeah, ouch. That looked like that is unfortunate.
Wacko has the right idea. He's coming in, he's triggering out his self-destruct early so that there's a reduced timer once you actually come into visual range, so you have less time to react. But that is actually not stopping Ion whatsoever because they are reacting. They're pouncing away or they're pushing him back. There's time rifts going up. The zoning is really complete. They're shutting it down. Not only King Joe because he can't fly around. He can't put up those mines. Oh, my. That was disgusting.
That was jumping into the wrong place at the wrong time.
But they're also zoning out Wacko really hard. And we're looking at a core damage at 4 minutes in.
So this is I think, an excellent example of just a good team and what makes a good team work well, or it's just a really good example of, oh my gosh, Ion, what are you doing? Why have you not qualified yet? This is unbelievably fast.
A little bit premature there from Wacko, and yeah, that combo is enough to take him down. 9 kills in 4 minutes, and the core, 17 seconds in, is actually going to draw. King Joe there with the laser just unfortunately cannot do anything else for his team. And, yeah. That was a 4-minute, 23-second win.
Right. So Ion taking it very kindly, getting the only kills in the game. We're expecting. I'm going to predict that we're going to see some more of Ion later on in this qualifier.
Well, we've been hyping them up. If they don't deliver at this point, we're just going to.
Yeah, it's been 2 qualifiers that we've been saying, man, where's Team Ion?
Here they are.
They're here.
Full 100% perfect form.
Full regalia. So,
yeah.
As far as Uncle Emmsy's boys go,
goodbye.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
That was really unfortunate. Like, that, I have no idea what they could have done there. They fell behind and they...
It came down to picks, honestly.
You think so?
Wacko, 100% was getting zoned out between all 3 characters. He couldn't jump into time rifts. He couldn't jump into the airstrikes. Couldn't jump into pounces because the pounces push him away, just like a Cocoa Ball would.
So the Clunk Explode, I think we all think that the Clunk Explode was a good idea.
On paper.
But.
On paper.
And I'm not pointing any fingers.
No. We're not here
I think that could have been done better.
Yeah, I mean, I really do think it came down to the draft. I mean, Yuri was in there up against, long-range Raylan snipes, the air strikes, and, again, Pounce. Very floaty, mobile characters. We're going to see a lot of these guys throughout the tournament. And, a flying character like that with no built-in escapes, there's no dashes, there's no invises, there's no shields. It's just he has a bubble that he has to buy items for in order to make it better. He's going to go down really quickly. He's a very squishy guy, especially against that burst. The Wacko was actually zoned out very heavily. That left us with Penny on Penny action, which just couldn't actually go toe-to-toe.
And she tried. She
tried, yes, she did.
What I really like that they did is that they attempted to be as aggressive as possible.
Right.
All things considered.
There's multiple times they nearly took home the 10. Right.
And if they had just gotten 1 or 2 kills to get a grip, that could have been a different game, but they just couldn't quite do it. Team Ion knowing exactly when to go in and when to get the heck out of dodge.
If there's anything to take away from this, it's that coordination can yield extreme results.
and to be a little bit more careful with picks next time, maybe.
Yeah. Let's get a bit better for the picks and drafts. So, I don't know, 4-minute game. We're going to take a quick break and come back to you with the next one. But before we do that, what are these guys all playing for, Mr. Wolf? I mean...
That's a really good question. But honestly, I think that it's the biggest prize pool in Awesome Nuts
to date. I think so as well. Let's take a quick look at what these guys are actually competing for. But with over $5,000 in cash and prizes, first place next weekend with our top 8, first place takes home $600 cash, 3 of the new Alienware Alpha Steam boxes, which will have Awesome Nuts on it. 15 copies of the Awesome Nuts and 3 skin bundles, so you split that all up between your teammates, and everyone goes home happy. Second, third, also take home some cash, but fourth to eighth, they get themselves a little bit of swag in terms of Awesome Nuts, some skin bundles, and everybody playing in the qualifiers. You signed up, you came, you played. Doesn't matter if you lost first round. Doesn't matter if you made it to the finals. Everyone's going to go home with a Teddy Ayla skin, courtesy of Rondo Games. She's so cute. She is so cute, and we got to see her once. Will we see her again? That is the big question for our production team. But biggest prize pool here, Awesome Nuts history. It's all thanks to Geronimo and, of course, Alienware, because those alphas, look at those clean lines. Like, who wouldn't want one of those in their living room?
Yeah, smooth curves and clean lines.
Smooth curves and clean lines. That's exactly right. So, again, when we return, we will have our next match for you guys. We are here, Forecourt Jester and Slowo, for the Awesome Nuts, Alienware Alpha Awesome Cup.
Bingo.
Yeah, there's a lot of A's in there, but
Lots.
We're good.
Alliteration.
We'll see you soon.
Yeah.